So what if you could literally create your own reality just by changing what's going on in your head? It sounds like something out of a movie, I know, but according to Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, it's actually grounded in some pretty mind-blowing science. Let's dive in and figure out how we can all break the habit of being ourselves.
This right here is the central idea, and it's a real head-scratcher at first. The single most important habit you can break is the habit of being yourself. I mean, wait a second. If you're not supposed to be you, who are you supposed to be? It sounds like a paradox, doesn't it?
And that's really the million-dollar question, isn't it? We all have things we want to change, our health, our bank account, our happiness, but if the very core of who we are is just this collection of familiar thoughts, automatic habits, and feelings we've felt 1,000 times, it feels like we're totally stuck. How in the world do you step outside of that to create someone new? Well, that is exactly what we are going to unpack.
Okay, so first up, we've got to understand why we feel so stuck in the first place. You see, for about 95% of the day, most of us are just running on autopilot. Our brains have been hardwired by everything we've ever experienced, so we've basically become this collection of memorized programs that just run on repeat in the background.
Think of it this way. Your brain is literally a living record of your past. Every single time you react to the same old problem in the same old way, you're just strengthening the wiring for that reaction. So if your life has been defined by certain struggles, your brain's actual physical structure reflects that, which then causes you to think and feel in ways that create, you guessed it, more of the exact same stuff.
But why do we even think this way? To get that, we actually have to take a little trip back in time. Our modern feeling of being stuck really comes from an old scientific idea, the belief that the universe is just this giant, predictable machine, and we're just little cogs inside it, totally powerless to change anything.
For hundreds of years, guys like Descartes and Newton basically taught us that our minds and the physical world were two totally separate things. The world was solid, predictable, it followed a bunch of fixed laws, and our minds were just kind of along for the ride. But then quantum physics blew all of that out of the water, showing us that our consciousness, our mind, is actually deeply connected to the physical world.
And this is the perfect way to see that change. On the left, you've got the old model of an atom, looking like a tiny little solar system, solid, predictable. But the quantum model on the right shows us what's really going on. An atom isn't a solid thing at all. It's more like a fuzzy cloud of pure potential, just this energetic field of possibilities.
And you might want to sit down for this number. Scientists figured out that an atom is 99.999999% energy, and only a teeny tiny fraction is actual physical stuff. So what does that mean? It means everything we think of as solid, your phone, your body, everything, is almost entirely empty space and pure potential. We are literally more nothing than something. It's kind of wild. Now, all this nothingness is what scientists call the quantum field. Just imagine it as this invisible, connected web of energy that contains every single possible reality you can think of. They're all just kind of floating in there, waiting to be brought into existence. It's a field of pure potential. So here's the really important part. If every possibility already exists in that field, then the future you want, the one where you're healthy and successful and happy, that future already exists as an energetic potential. It's just waiting for a conscious observer, that's you, to come along and choose it.
This is a real thing in science called the observer effect. See, in the quantum world, things exist as waves of possibility until someone looks at them. The moment you put your attention on one of those possibilities, you collapse all the other options into one single physical reality. Your mind, your consciousness, literally turns potential into matter. This is where your true power is.
Okay, so if our mind can actually shape reality, how do we do it? How do we go from this cool science concept to making real, actual changes in our lives? Well, it turns out there's a pretty simple and really powerful formula for it.
Here's how Dr. Dispenza lays it out. Your thoughts act like an electrical signal that you send out into the quantum field. They're the what, the clear intention, the blueprint for what you want to create. But, and this is a big but, thoughts by themselves aren't enough. Your feelings are the magnetic signal. They're the energy that actually draws the experience to you. So when you combine a clear thought with a powerful, elevated emotion, you create this unique electromagnetic signature that attracts a matching reality right out of the field.
And this quote just nails it. The quantum field doesn't care about what you want. It responds to who you are being. You can't just think positive thoughts about being wealthy and expect cash to appear. You have to combine that thought with the actual feeling of abundance. It's your state of being, that combo of thoughts and feelings, that sends the signal.
And get this, a study from the HeartMath Institute actually proved this. They had people try to change DNA in a test tube just with their minds. The first group just felt positive emotions. The result? No change. The second group just held a clear intention. Again, no change. But the third group, they combined that clear intention with an elevated positive feeling. And guess what? They created significant, measurable changes in the DNA. It's the thought and the feeling working together. This leads us to this idea of coherence. When your thoughts and feelings are perfectly aligned, you send out a strong, clear, powerful signal, like those neat waves on top. But if you're thinking one thing, like, I'm healthy, but you're feeling sick and worried, you're sending a messy, incoherent signal. The quantum field can't respond to a confused message like that.
So, the big question is, how do we learn to broadcast a clear and coherent signal? How do we start sending the message for the future we actually want, instead of just replaying the signal from our past over and over again? This right here is the secret sauce. You have to break the habit of waiting for something outside of you to change how you feel inside. Instead of waiting for success to finally feel abundant, you have to feel abundant first. And that's what attracts success. You have to learn how to generate the feelings of your future reality right now, in this moment.
And the most powerful feeling you can possibly generate is gratitude. But look, this isn't about being grateful for the stuff you already have. This is about feeling overwhelming gratitude for the future you're creating before it even happens. When you can feel genuinely thankful for your new life as if it's already here, you are sending the clearest, most powerful signal to the quantum field. You're basically telling it that your future isn't just some vague possibility anymore. It's already a done deal.
And all of this brings us to the final and honestly the most empowering shift in how we see the world. It's all about moving from being a victim of your life to becoming its creator.
See, most of us live our whole lives in that old Newtonian model of cause and effect. We wait for the outside world to cause a change in how we feel. When I get that job, then I'll be happy. But the quantum model flips that completely. It's about causing an effect. You change your internal state, your thoughts and feelings first in order to cause an effect in the outside world. You don't wait for the evidence, you become the evidence. This is really the bottom line. Your past only has power over your future if you keep living by its old thoughts and feelings. But by understanding this stuff, you can stop being a product of your past and start being the architect of your future. You can finally, actually, break the habit of being your old self. That infinite field of possibilities is out there right now, just waiting for your signal. It doesn't judge you, it doesn't question what you want, it just responds to who you are being. So the only real question left to ask is, what new future are you going to start creating today?